Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, the only place where we take all the chaos happening around the world, shake it up like a gas station milkshake machine, and somehow make it make just enough sense to laugh at it before it ruins your day. Segment 1. AI, Energy, and the Future Running on Extension Cords. And just when you think it can't get weirder, we've got AI booming so hard it's using as much energy as entire countries, which feels like inventing a genius robot and then realizing it eats like a linebacker at a buffet. Tech companies are cranking out smarter and smarter machines, but they forgot one small detail. Those machines need electricity, and electricity ain't cheap when the world's on fire. It's like building a rocket car and then remembering gas costs $12 a gallon. Now companies are trying to shove AI into phones and gadgets so it runs locally, which sounds fancy until you realize it's basically turning your pocket into a tiny power plant. And the grounded takeaway is simple. The future is arriving fast, but it's dragging a massive extension cord behind it. And right now, that cord runs straight through the same energy markets that are already stressed. So yeah, we built the future. We just might not be able to afford to plug it in. Segment 2. Courts, Fed drama, and who actually runs the place. Now, while the future's busy eating electricity, back here at home we've got the courts stepping in and basically telling the government to knock it off with trying to pressure the Federal Reserve, which is a sentence I did not expect to hear in my lifetime. But here we are. They tried to go after the Fed chair, and the judge said there's basically no evidence and a whole lot of "what are we doing here?" That's like calling the mechanic a criminal because your car still makes a weird noise. And underneath that whole mess is a bigger question nobody wants to say out loud, which is who actually controls what anymore. Because if the Fed's independent, and Congress is gridlocked, and the executive branch is trying new tricks, then we're basically watching 3 different people try to drive the same truck at the same time. And spoiler alert, that truck is full of gas we can't afford. Segment 3. DHS shutdown and airport lines from the Twilight Zone. And speaking of things not running right, the Department of Homeland Security is basically running on vibes and duct tape right now. And you can tell because airport lines look like a Black Friday sale where nobody's getting a deal. Folks are standing in TSA lines so long they're forming emotional attachments to the people in front of them, exchanging life stories, probably attending each other's weddings by the time they reach the scanner. And they're arguing in Congress about how to fund it, splitting up agencies like it's a messy divorce where nobody wants custody of the expensive parts. You got FEMA running low on money, TSA backed up, and politicians treating it like a philosophical debate instead of, planes needing to take off on time. It's like arguing about the rules of football while the stadium's on fire. And I get it. Immigration policy is complicated. But when the result is grandma missing her flight because security took 3 hours, maybe we've drifted a little too far into the weeds. The real-world effect is simple. Systems that used to just work are now acting like they need a software update nobody approved. Segment 4. Markets crash and everybody pretends it's fine. Then you look at the stock market, and it's doing that thing where it politely declines before absolutely face-planting. The Dow drops, the NASDAQ drops, everything drops, and suddenly every financial expert on TV is using phrases like healthy correction while sweating through their suit jackets. That's like calling a tornado a light breeze with personality. And the volatility index jumps, which is just a fancy way of saying investors are panicking in a very organized, spreadsheet-friendly way. And I love how fast money runs away from anything risky, like crypto and tech stocks get treated like they just said something weird at Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, energy stocks are up because of course they are. It's the one guy at the party making money while everyone else is arguing about the bill. The grounded reality here is markets hate uncertainty. And right now, uncertainty is basically running the show like it just got promoted without training. Segment 5, Gas Prices and World War Costco Memberships. And if you're wondering where all that uncertainty actually shows up, just look at your gas pump, because nothing says global stability like waking up and your fuel bill looks like it's auctioning off your dignity by the gallon. Oil's up, markets are down, and suddenly everybody's acting like they just discovered the Middle East exists, and it's got a thermostat hooked directly to your wallet. I went to fill up my truck, and the pump didn't even show numbers anymore. It just said, "You sure about this, buddy?" Like it was concerned for my financial future. And you know it's bad when economists start using words like stagflation again. That's a word that sounds like a disease you catch from licking a gas station hot dog roller. Now here's the thing. This ain't just gas. This is groceries, trucking, heating, everything getting squeezed like a ketchup bottle at a family reunion. And they're saying the average household is going to spend hundreds more this year just to drive around. Which is great, because I was worried my tax refund might accidentally improve my life for a second. It's like the global economy decided to play a fun game called, "How many ways can we make Tuesday more expensive?" And somehow, every answer is yes. Segment 6, Operation Epic Fury and the world's most expensive fireworks show. And finally, if you trace all of this mess back to its source, you end up overseas, where Operation Epic Fury has turned into what I can only describe as the world's most aggressive demolition derby. Except the track is the entire Middle East, and the prize is higher oil prices and everyone being nervous all the time. They're hitting infrastructure, energy facilities, ships, you name it, and at this point it feels less like a strategy and more like somebody knocking over dominoes and realizing halfway through they don't know how to stop. And Iran's firing back, Qatar's getting hit, shipping lanes are getting sketchy, and suddenly everybody's talking about risk premiums, like we're all investors instead of just people trying to afford lunch. And here's the kicker. We've apparently hit thousands of targets already, which sounds impressive until you realize the bill for that is coming due faster than a payday loan at a county fair. They're asking for hundreds of billions more to keep it going, and Congress can't even agree on funding the stuff we already got. It's like trying to run a NASCAR race on fumes while arguing about who pays for the tires. And underneath all the noise, the grounded truth is this. Wars that mess with energy don't stay over there. They move straight into your kitchen and your gas tank. In conclusion, the world right now feels like a truck barreling downhill with the brakes arguing about policy, the engine running on expensive fuel, and 3 different drivers fighting over the wheel. And somehow we're all still in the back seat, just hoping it doesn't hit a pothole big enough to knock the tires clean off.